Fine. So we'll continue with the topic of the last class. So in the last class, we were talking about percentages, and we also connected percentages with ratios. So we understood what is the basic connection between percentages and ratios, and how the questions related to percentages and ratios, they can be solved by using both. So if percentage is given, you can use ratios, and if percentage is asked, you can find out the percentage using ratios. So we understood it in the terms of basic percentages. Percent basically means out of 100, and we understood the basic percentages over here. So agar 1 hai, so that is equivalent to 100. 1 by 2 is equivalent to 50%. Similarly, what we need to understand that any of this percentage can be converted into ratios, and any of this ratio can be converted into percentages. Right. So इसको हमने use किया था, and we thought understood like कि किसी भी number को अगर किसी given percentage से बढ़ाना है या कम करना है, so how to do this. Now today, for today's session, we'll be predominantly focusing on a number of questions which have been asked, or the kind type of questions which are being asked, so that to understand कि क्या होता है और exam के time पे how we can understand the basic part of the question. Because ऐसा देखो question जो पूछे जाते हैं, they are not hard. To be very frank, जो questions aptitude के अंदर पूछे जाते हैं, they are not much hard. But yes, the thing is there is a logic behind that part. उसके पीछे ना कुछ एक base होता है that we need to understand. If we are able to understand that thing, yes, it is too easy to understand. So let's say I'll just explain it over here in this particular slide. Let's say we want to decrease a number by a given percentage. So in this case, if the number x is decreased by y, then you have to measure the percentage with respect to x, right? So you will have x minus y percentage, right? So you have to multiply it by multiply x by 100 minus y. So that we'll see in the form of numbers. जब numerical हम करेंगे उसमें देखेंगे. But यहाँ पर you have to multiply x. The reference is x, right? That we need to understand. Now when we are supposed to find out the percentage of increase or percentage of decrease, then initial number जो होता है हमारा, right, that is taken as a reference. तो जब हमारे पास मल्टीपल ऑपरेशंस आते हैं, तो जो हमारा करंट नंबर है के ऊपर ऑपरेशन किए जा रहे हैं, उसको रेफरेंस लिया जाता है. दैट इज द थिंग वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. Right. Now let's try to solve some of the questions. Yes, this is the first one. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve. Let's see if you can solve this.
So 7.2 rupees.
Yes, can I see some of the answers over here? No?
Sir, 8.8.
Okay, I got one answer. Let's try to see how to solve this one. The price of soda increases from 10 to 12. So it has been increased from 10 to 10. If it is then decreased by double the total percent increase, then what is the new price of soda? So first of all, it is increased from 10 to 12. And I need to find out this percentage increase, because इसी का double, okay, then I had to decrease it. So what will be the percentage increase? So again, the percentage increase in price of soda is equals to over here the increase has been it's simple 12 minus 10, so I don't need to worry about it. But the important thing that I need to understand is what will be the reference. Reference will be the initial cost. The initial cost and वो मेरा reference होगा. So it will be 12 minus 10 by 10 into 100. That basically becomes 2 by 10 into 100 or 20%. Simple. Now it is decreased by double the total percentage increase. So if I double the percentage increase percentage, doubling percentage increase, it becomes 2 times 20%, that is 40%. So I need to decrease it by 40%. So if I decrease it by 40%, or if I decrease anything by 40%, the original price, the new price of the soda, the new price of soda, if I'm decreasing it by 40%, it becomes 60% of existing price. Right? Why? Because this is decreased by 40%. If it decreased by 40%, it becomes 60% of the existing price. What is the existing price? It is 12, because now the reference has been changed. The reference is 12 now. Just one. The reference is 12. Now, in this, if I want to find out the percentage, so it will become 6 by 10 or 3 by 5 into, or let's keep it 6 by 10. 6 by 10 into 12. 12 into 6 is 72. 72 by 10, that becomes rupees 7.2. Rupees 7.2. So the latest price or the existing price or new price, what you can say, is 7.2. This is your final answer. A simple technique, the only thing that you need to remember over here is what was the reference. Earlier the reference was 10, then it became 12, right? So I need to find out the 60% of 12. Let's try to solve the next question. This one. Now this is an interesting question. I want you to at least try this question. Yes, any answers?
So 125.
Okay, let's
Sir, I
try
guess
to solve this
100
up.
marks will be the maximum marks.
Okay, fine. Let's try to solve this up and let's see what is the correct answer. There is a candidate who got 20% marks. Okay, the candidate who gets 20% mark, it fails by 10 marks. So if there is a guy who is failing, he got 20% marks, and these are minus 10 of passing marks. So passing marks minus 10 is 20%. But there is another candidate who gets 42% marks and get 12% more than they pass. So from here, I can see that another candidate, talking about the another candidate, let's say this is some candidate Y. So from the marks of Y, what I can understand is 42% marks, they are 12% more than the passing marks. Right. Or I can say simply in terms like 42% is 12% plus passing marks. Or simply from here, if I take this on the other side, the sign will change 42 minus 12. So from here, I'll get passing marks are basically 30% of whatever total mark, right? So 20% of total mark or maximum mark. Now a person fails, gets 20% marks and he fails by 10 marks. So 30%, like 30% of x minus, since he is failing by 10 marks, I'll subtract 10 out of it. So what was the passing percentage? That is 30% of maximum marks. Let's say the maximum marks is x. So 30% of x minus 10 marks is what he is getting. What he is getting? He is getting 20%. So 20% of x, as per this statement. So I'll take this 10 on this side and 20% on this side. So 30% of x minus 20% of x. This 10 goes on that side, so I'll get 10 over. Or from here, simply I can say that 10% of x is 10 and 100% of x, that is total of x, will be equal to, see, this 10% of x can be simply written as, let me write down, 10% of x is 10, or basically 10 by 100 into x is 10. From here you get x is equals to 100, and as we have assumed over here that x is going to be your maximum marks, so your maximum marks are 100. That is the correct answer. The maximum marks is 100. A pretty simple question, just you need to understand the relationship between this percentage. Let's see the next question. See, I got funny answer for these kind of questions. So it is asked that when the radius of a sphere is increased by 20%, then what percentage change in the value of area? So if radius is increased, so simply they will say the 40%. Right, first answer was 40%. It will double. Okay. The second one says that since the radius, the area consists of square of radius, so we'll square this number. So we'll get 400. So 400%. So in both of the cases, the answer would be incorrect. To understand, you need to find out percentage change in the value of p. Try to find it and tell me the answer. It would be better if you can write down the answer in the chat box, because I am having some issue with hearing on my earphones. So I can check out your answers in the chat box. Okay, I got one answer. Let's see what others have to say. Okay, I got multiple answers. Okay. Fine. Let's try to solve this one. If the radius of sphere is increased by 20%, then percentage change in the value of area. Let's say the radius, or I would like to call it initial radius, B R. So after changing the new radius, it is increased by 20%. See, either you can do it in the form of decimals or fractions, that is totally your choice. So now it is increased by 20%. That basically means, if you remember it from our ratios, 20% is equal to 1 by 5, 20 by 100 or 1 by 5. So initial it was R, now it is increased by 1 by 5 of R. Now if I can take the LCM will become 5. You'll get 5 plus 1. R can get out common over here, right? So it will become 6 by 5 times R. So that is a new radius. Now, from the initial radius, I'll try to calculate the initial area. So initial area, the area of circle, it's pi r. Sorry, area of sphere, it will be 4 pi r. And the new radius. From the new radius, I'll have the new area equal to 4 pi. Now this time the radius has changed. The radius has changed. It will become 6 by 5 times r whole square. Right. I'll keep it as it is. Now let's find out the change in area, because I am interested in finding out in change. So change in area will be new area minus initial area. So 4 by pi 6 by 5 r whole square minus 4 pi r square, and percentage change. Finding out percentage, I have to take some reference area, and that will be your initial area. Right, so reference will be your initial area. So I'll take that as a reference. Okay, over here, what I'll do is in the initial step, I'll take 4 pi common, because that is getting common over here. So I'll be left with 36 by 25 r square minus r square. We can solve it further. That will be doing. Okay. Now next is 4 pi 36. I can even take r square common. So it will become 4 pi r square 36 by 25 minus, since r square is common, I'll be left with 1 only. I'll be left with 1 only. And the initial area was 4 pi r square. So I'll take 4 pi r square as a reference. I had to multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. So this 4 pi r square in the numerator and denominator, they will simply get cancelled. So I'll have 36 upon 25 minus 1. 36 minus 25, that is what I'll be getting in the numerator. 36 minus 25. 36 minus 25 becomes 11 by 25 into 100. Now we know that 25 ones is 25 and 25 into 4 is
Sir, can I have previous slide? Hello, sir.